Hey everyone, so we're back again and we're doing a much quicker intervals video, much quicker than the last one. Now if you haven't seen the last video, check it out here, very important stuff. Now again, it's really important that you understand all these intervals because in our next videos all we're going to be looking at is how to create and learn how to play as well all of the chords within a key signature. So it's really important, and we're going to be starting writing music as well. So it's very important that you understand everything about these intervals, okay? Now specifically today we're going to look at what is 100% the correct way in terms of theory and writing and analyzing music to write these intervals. Okay, let's get started. So again, the whole point of this video is just to explain something really clearly, and this is coming from the 100% correct theory analysis point of view, okay? These notes are going to sound the same, but from a theory perspective, it's really important that you understand. Let's say you're playing a D note, okay? Now let's say you go up a semitone, or you go up, as we've learned, a semitone is a minor second. You go up a minor second in pitch, going up higher, okay? As soon as you've taken that original note and you've changed it, you've gone up or down, you go up to another note name. So if you've gone up in pitch a semitone, a minor second, you've actually gone on to E flat. You've changed the note name. So you've gone up, whether it's a line or a space, you've changed the note name. Same as if you go down. So if you've got a D note and you go down a minor second or a semitone, you actually change the note name again and you go on to a C sharp. This is really important, and it's from a theory perspective, and it's the 100% accurate way from an analysis point of view of writing out theory notes. So let's say, if you started with a D note again and you went down a semitone. Well, the note is the same as, it's going to sound the same in pitch as a C sharp as it is a D flat. They're enharmonically the same, which means they sound the same. But from a theory perspective, if you started with a D note and you're writing a melody and you go down a semitone, it should actually be written as a C sharp, okay? And that's the point of this video, really, just to double check that reference, because it's very important from a theory perspective. Sure, like if you're just writing music out for buddies, and as long as the notes are correct, they're going to sound the same and no one's going to know. But it's a really important thing that for those of you who are going to study some courses out there, just to be really crystal clear with this. And the last thing before we get into the actual example of doing all the intervals in the first octave from C, just like we did before, is when you're writing out a major scale, and many of you have been writing out major scales, it's great practice, good stuff. When you're writing out a major scale, you need to have 7 different notes. Now what I mean by that is you need to have 7 different note names. That's really important. So for example, when you're writing out a C sharp major scale, it's going to look really strange on paper because you're going to have, every note is sharp. So you're even going to have a B sharp, just like that Simpsons band, yeah? Now B sharp, of course we know, is just a C. But when you're writing out, from a theory perspective, when you're writing out that scale, you need to have 7 different notes, so you will actually have those funny enharmonic, which means they sound the same. So even though it's a B sharp note, it does actually sound like a C. But from a theory perspective, when you're writing out those different scales, you will come across those red herrings every now and again, just like in the C sharp major scale, where you have a B sharp, but it is actually C. So we're going to do another example of writing out all the intervals in a 1 octave, starting with C, but again you can start with any note, but we're going to show you the 100% accurate, from a theory perspective analysis, the proper way of doing it, okay? So again, we've started on C, okay? Now, if you've got a C note and you're not moving higher or lower, you're playing another C note at the same time, then it's a perfect unison, because you haven't gone up or lower in pitch. Perfect unison, that's the first one. Next, we're going to move up a minor second. Now, what is a minor second? It's up a semitone, but really it's just a flat 2. The 2 being in this octave is the D. So a flat 2, of course, would be a D flat. Next, we're moving up a major second, or 2 semitones. So what's going to be a major second or 2 semitones up from C? D. Simple. Next, we're moving up a minor third, which, as we know, if the third is going to be E, then a flat third is going to be between those 2 notes, and it's going to be E flat, because it's a flattened third degree. And if we have a look again at all the notes that we've written, a major third up from C is going to be that E. That's a major third up. Next, we're going to be going up a perfect fourth, which is just a semitone up from a major third. So a perfect fourth is just going to be F. Now this one has a few different names, depends how you want to look on it. The next interval up after a perfect fourth could either be an augmented fourth or a flat 5, okay? So that's going to be G flat, because again, you're flattening the 5th. That's really important. You're flattening the 5th. And then if we move a semitone up from a flattened 5, you're going to get a regular 5, a perfect 5. So a perfect fifth up from C is going to be G. Next we're going into a minor sixth up from C again. So or you could think of it as a flat 6. So what's a flat 6 going to be if it's a semitone below a normal 6, which is A? A flat. Done. Now major sixth is just a regular 6. We've just got A. Now we're going to look at a flat 7. Now if a 7th degree is going to be B in what we're looking at the moment, then a flat 7 is just B flat. And now we're going to be looking at a regular major 7th interval up from a starting C note, and that's going to be B. And finally, one semitone up from a major 7th is our perfect octave, and we're back at C where we started, but an octave higher. All those steps up. And that's it. That's the right way to write when you're going up. So every time you're going up in pitch, you're moving up a note name. And if we did that in reverse, if we started on, let's say, G, and we went down a semitone, it would be F sharp, because you're moving down a note name. It's very important. Every time you move up or down, you change the note name. And that's it for today. Well done for making it to the end.